Pennsylvania governor's residence says he would have beaten Governor Josh Shapiro with a hammer if he'd seen him. 38-year-old Cody Ballmer tells police after turning himself in that he set the fire with gasoline and beer bottles after walking about an hour from his home in Harrisburg.
The governor now thanking officers for waking him up and responding quickly to save him and save his family. Police believe the man scaled an iron security fence, the suspect that is, in the middle of the night to elude police and break into this home in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Moments before it happened, Shapiro, who is Jewish, posted this message on X, wishing everyone a happy Passover.
Fox's Todd Pyro. Governor Shapiro says he will not be deterred from his faith or doing his job. President Trump says he'll announce this week a new tariff on chips and semiconductors for electronics.
We want to make our chips and semiconductors and other things in our country.
He says he's also planning tariffs on prescription drug imports. 6 people killed in a small plane crash in Copenhagen, New York, are identified as 2 surgeons, one of them flying the plane, 2 of their children, and their partners. National Transportation Safety Board investigator Albert Nixon says an air traffic controller tried to warn the pilot he was too low.
Unfortunately, he was unsuccessful. There was no response from the pilot.
A New York City helicopter company, meantime, shuts down 3 days after a fatal crash.
The FAA made the call to ground all flights as investigators dig deeper into what went wrong, launching an immediate review of the tour operator's license and safety record. 6 people, including a family visiting from Spain and their pilot, a Navy vet, were all killed. Senator Chuck Schumer is now pushing for tougher rules, saying some tour companies are cutting corners.
Fox's Ted Linder. Rory McIlroy wins his first Masters golf tournament, beating Justin Rose in a playoff hole, making him the 6th player to win a career Grand Slam. The Masters, U.S. Open, PGA Open, and Open Championship. He's the first European golfer to do it. America's listening to Fox News.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZQuil.
ZQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZQuil nights. Explore our products at ZQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Don't get suckered into the same old free phone game by Big Wireless. There is a better way. Pure Talk, my sponsor, my wireless company, has a better offer. A brand new free Samsung Galaxy with qualifying plan for $35 a month. You get unlimited talk, unlimited text, 15 gigs of data, all on America's most dependable 5G network. Just dial pound 250, say the keyword Pure Talk for your free Samsung Galaxy with qualifying plan. Pure Talk, wireless by Americans for Americans.
President Trump meets with El Salvador's President Nayib Bukele today at the White House. He's an ally in the administration's fight against illegal immigration, holding hundreds of alleged gang members at a mega prison. The Pentagon removes a Greenland base commander accused of undermining Vice President J.D. Vance.
Space Operations Command says Colonel Susan Myers was removed from her leadership post at a Greenland Space Force base for loss of confidence in her ability to lead. Her removal follows a visit from Vice President Vance, who accused Denmark of failing the people of Greenland and said they would be safer under U.S. rule. Myers explaining in a statement the concerns of the U.S. administration discussed by Vice President Vance are not reflective of the base. The Pentagon responding, actions to undermine the chain of command or subvert President Trump's agenda will not be tolerated. President Trump has said he wants to annex Greenland for national security purposes. Greenland's leadership has repeatedly said it's not for sale. Kristen Goodwin, Fox News.
Next round of U.S.-Iran nuclear talks is reportedly planned now for next Saturday in Rome. Oman hosted the first round of talks this past Saturday. Waymo's autonomous cars are heading east.
Driverless car company Waymo will begin testing its tech in Japan next week. It's the first international trial for Waymo, owned by Google's parent corporation Alphabet. The company is referring to the event as a road trip as they attempt to learn about the nuances of driving in Japanese traffic, which is different from American traffic. For instance, they drive on the left side of the street. 25 cars will be deployed, and they will not be driving themselves. They'll be operated by drivers in Tokyo, where some cars have already been spotted. But Waymo says the plan is to eventually bring its autonomous taxi service to Japan. Eben Brown, Fox News.
A constitutional amendment in Hungary is close to being passed that would ban public LGBTQ events like an annual Pride March in Budapest attended by thousands of people. I'm Chris Foster. This is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Champaign police say officers dispatched to the 300 block of North Neal Street Sunday. 911 call says a large fight taking place inside a business. When police arrived, they say officers found no fighting and nothing at the scale indicated by the caller. They're investigating. Urbana Police announcing one of its sergeants has been named the state ambassador for a countrywide organization. Department announcing Sergeant Matthew McKinney named the Illinois Ambassador of Law Enforcement's Community Engagement Network, which is a national organization dedicated to advancing trust building and relationship-focused policing. Blood donation numbers are on the decline. At Impact Life, officials say they're below their collection goals this week. That's why they're partnering with the Champaign-Urbana chapter of Knights of Columbus, hosting a blood drive. Anyone over the age of 18 with good health, you can donate. The event's going to be at Holy Cross Catholic Church May 4th in Champaign. Thanks to all who participate in the event. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Well, good morning, friends. Hello. How are you? It's Monday. Good to have you listening. Quite a weekend. I got all kinds of Roy McIlroy.
Yeah, how about that?
Raw emotion at the
my
Masters.
goodness.
That was, Rory's won a lot of golf tournaments, Greg Solier, but I've never seen him crying like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it was.
I watched from 1 till it was almost about 5. I didn't get to the playoff or the end of it, but just that leg of it was just a phenomenal. I mean, I was captivated. I normally go back and forth on sports things, but I was in the office doing some work, and I just couldn't take my eyes off that golf course and that tournament at all.
It's just the best. The Masters is just unbelievable.
And the coverage was fantastic.
Yeah, it's
as well.
unbelievable. It's in 9QD5.
It looks so pretty.
It's unbelievably clear.
Yeah.
Jim Nance is the best, and it just was so unbelievable the way he just hit a ball on 13 that Stevie J hits. It's just that bad. And so
yeah, there were some shots I could
goodness.
I could correspond with.
No, exactly. The ball just flinged to the right, went in the water. I mean, It was when he had a 3-shot lead, then all of a sudden he's behind 1. He's losing. And in 2011, if you all remember 2011, he was ahead 4 and hit it to the cabins. It was just it was awful.
Yeah.
And so that emotion was 14 years of I'm finally over this.
Right.
Yes.
It completed the complete Grand Slam, meaning all the majors. And
6th player to do that.
Yeah, not very many can win all the major tournaments, which I guess are the Opens and the PGA, and then
kind of puts them up there with Palmer and Nicholas and Watson and all those guys.
Won't be in the amounts. I mean, it's Tiger at 13 majors.
Oh yeah,
but then 5 green jackets. Jack had 6 green jackets. I don't think anybody does that again. But I mean, it's just hard to win because he was inspired by watching Tiger in 1997. That's what inspired that young man to be like that when he was 7.
Right. He's 35 now.
How many guys did Tiger do that to? About everybody.
Yep.
So things have changed when Jack and Arnie and all those guys are 7 guys that could win.
Yeah.
Now there's 100 that are that good. It was just crazy.
Yeah.
It was just hard to win them. So anyway, it was just great to see the emotion. I got all kinds of clips I'll play. We'll do that coming up. And then I've got to tell the story what happened in Cincinnati over the weekend.
Yes.
It was, we did a baby reveal, Greg, and we will. Grace is having a baby. Grace, my daughter, having a baby with Jacob Hurtubise, the baseball player.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes.
And so they got to do
and to the realtor at large, I think you have someone who got her license.
Yeah, that was Christian's wife, Riley Kekatarian, who's going to be a superstar realtor. Anyway, so we got to Great American Ballpark. It was Friday night, and I'll tell the story, but it was just a remarkable thing that happened on top of the video. Well, now I got to tell you because you're
is the scoreboard at the ballpark involved?
Yes. It was just. I'm going to. You got a minute, Greg? Are you good on time?
Yeah, I'm okay for a few minutes. Yeah, 5 or so. If that works
that'll do it. I'll tell you because I'm not going to talk to you next hour. So I'm
right.
You got to hear the end of the story. So this ended up being a Friday night thing where Grace and Jacob had asked the Cincinnati Reds to be able to do this on the field, and so this is where. You have, and there are all kinds of gender reveals these days. People get pretty fancy with them and everything else. Well, now you can buy a baseball that'll explode into the color of the baby, of what, pink or blue. And so you have to hit the ball for the ball to break, and then out comes the plume indicating if it's a boy or girl. So we get there, and it was supposed to be about 4 Hurtubise people from his family and us, which is just Janet and I at the time. It was supposed to be Saturday night. They had to move to Friday night. The Reds said, we'll put all the videographers, all the people will be down there.
Yeah.
They had 5 photographers, I think. So they're down there.
Nice of them.
So we go Jan and I get there because we moved it from Saturday to Friday. We left at 3 or 4 in the afternoon, and I'm listening to the game saying, I hope we can get there because it has to be right after the game.
I see.
Yeah.
So the game's going on. We park right in the bottom of the 9th. We get out of the car. The game has ended. We got to get out there.
Yeah.
So it's supposed to be about 9 of us, and we get out there, and the entire Cincinnati Reds team is out there.
I was going to say, it seemed like there was a lot of the team.
Classy.
Well, Spencer Steer had asked Jacob, and Jacob said we're doing a gender reveal after the game, and then in the locker room after the Reds get together after a nice win, Steer yelled, "Hey, Hurtubise, when's the reveal?" So everybody showed up.
Okay.
He said, "Can we come?" Yeah. So all the wives are there, all the players are there. So here's Grace, who had the famous pitch at St. Louis that she grounded it. She threw right in the ground. She was
right.
So she saw these people, and all she had to do was kind of soft toss it. But she was so nervous, she didn't know what she was supposed to do with the baseball.
Right.
So she's on the side, and Jacob says, "Okay, just throw it to where it lands right here." And he's indicating a plate that he made with a stocking cap.
Yeah.
And so she throws it high and tight. I mean, impossible to hit.
Uh-oh.
But somehow Jacob, in fact, one of his teammates, Blake Dunn, said, nobody could have got a bat on that ball except Jacob.
Okay.
So he squared it up, and it came out pink. And so they're expecting a bit.
Cool.
On the massive 100
Jumbotron
said, "It's a girl."
It's a girl.
And the plume ended up getting on my shirt, which I shall never wear again.
Okay.
I'm retiring the shirt.
Uh-huh.
And Janet was engulfed in the flume. You can see her, and she's completely covered in a cloud of pink.
Uh-huh.
And so we got done. The crowd was going nuts. The players were going nuts. They were so happy. Terry Francona, the manager's in his office going, "What's going on out there?" He didn't know about it.
Okay.
But he watched it and congratulated Jacob and everything else. And it ended up 80,000 views on the Cincinnati Reds Twitter or X account. And then they showed it on TV on Saturday, and they showed it again on Sunday.
Oh, wow.
Nice. So
Ellie De La Cruz tried to put some pressure on Jacob.
He said, and Ellie De La Cruz, the superstar shortstop, said, "Hey, Jacob, don't miss."
And Diane,
Don't miss.
It was, if you see the video, it wasn't high and tight.
Yeah.
The ball was behind him.
Oh,
it was
man.
actually, he's a left-handed. It was behind him.
Oh,
and
wow, Grace.
He smashed it.
Really
Well,
off.
there was a lot of comments on X going, "Man, that was a terrible pitch." I mean,
no, and she had her hands over her face.
The announcer said, "Looks like Grace has been reading the scouting report high and tight."
Right.
And Jacob somehow got a bat on the ball.
Oh, my goodness.
And then he did a bat flip. He wasn't where he did that, but that was awesome. It was awesome. Anyway, so that's your story. Sorry.
Congratulations, Steve.
Thank you. We're very thankful, very blessed. Our weather this morning with Greg Solier, brought to you by Carl.
Stay in control of your medical care and have a health care plan on file should a medical crisis arise. Learn more about advanced care planning at carl.org.
Greg Solier, what's the week look like, my friend?
Well, my friend, in relatively good order, nice and quiet here through the first half of the week, increasing shower chances as we head through the end portion of the weekend. Looks like in and out and on and off with the rain for the Easter holiday weekend around here. The vanguard to a much wetter weather pattern. Been talking about this as we got deeper into April and ramping up with the planting season. It's going to be character building to say the least, but got to keep it on these wet grounds that have had some firming and drying. We're going to go in the wrong direction there. And with area streams and rivers, they're still winding down through the Wabash, the Ohio, and various area streams and rivers across east central Illinois. Those are going to be on the rise, I think, in the coming next couple of 2 or 3 weeks. It's that kind of setup, just in and out and on and off of this stuff once it does get going. For the day today, a couple little radar blips up into the northern end of the state. Little secondary cold front come through the area. We could maybe squeeze out a sprinkle north of Champaign this morning. Otherwise, partly sunny, windy, and seasonal highs. We're about 58 at Willard and Savoy right now to about 65. West wind will pick on up 20 to 30 and gusty. Partly cloudy, windy, cooler tonight, 40. 42. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, windy, and chillier with temps about 10 below average at 55. Winds will drop back and temperatures too to a frosty low of 34 for tomorrow night. We'll get that scraped off the windshield. Wednesday morning, sunny, milder, 62. Shower chances increase late Thursday, especially afternoon hours, 65 there. Good Friday, partly sunny, a couple of outbreaks of showers and thunderstorms, 77. We'll cool with readings in the mid-60s Saturday with a couple of showers late in the day and on and off. Showers and thunderstorms Easter Sunday and Monday, 66 on Easter Sunday, a Monday high next week to the middle 70s. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm Meteorologist Greg Solgay.
All right, my friend, thank you so much. Let's jump to our morning sports. Diane Ducey has that.
Well, you had mentioned some clips about the Masters, but we also have the Redbird.
Yeah, we better get that going.
Okay.
Cardinals did well.
Cardinals
Cubs did.
shut out the Phillies, 7-0.
And Cubs did great.
Yeah.
Here we go.
The Redbird Recap is sponsored by Helitech Waterproofing and Foundation Repair. Heal your home with Helitech.
The Cardinals finished off 2 out of 3 in the win column against the Phillies by shutting them out 7-0 yesterday at Busch Stadium. And it was Wilson Contreras who got the Cardinals on the board in the 4th inning.
But it's a 3-1 count now. And the next delivery is hit sharply to left field. Got jammed a little bit. Did he get enough of it? It's back and it's gone! He powered it over the wall in left field. Contreras has given the Cardinals the lead. 2-0 St. Louis in the 4th.
The Cardinals added 2 more runs with 3 doubles in the 6th. They got a run in the 7th inning and a 2-run homer from Jordan Walker in the 8th inning, capping off a 7-0 win. The Cardinals out-hit the Phillies 10-3. Liberatore the winner, Zach Wheeler the loser. Tonight, the Houston Astros are in Sonny Gray against Framber Valdez. We're on the air at 5:50. I'm John Rooney.
Is your home showing symptoms of foundation issues? Your home's wet basement, dingy crawl space, musty smells, cracked walls, or unlevel concrete shouldn't be ignored. Helitech can help. Life happens in your home. You and your family deserve the best. Helitech offers proven solutions in waterproofing, drainage, concrete leveling, and foundation repair services. Contact us for a free inspection at helitechonline.com.
When the water's high, we'll keep your basement dry. Heal your home with Helitech.
As you said, we had the Cubs winning over the LA Dodgers 4-2.
Well, they beat them Saturday 16-0. That's the worst Dodgers shutout in the history of the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Wow.
They've never been shut out 16-0 or anywhere near that in Dodger Stadium, so the Cubs set some history, too.
So they'll stay on the West Coast to play the San Francisco Padres. Dylan Cease on the mound for the Padres. Wasn't he a White Sox for a while?
Yep, I think so.
8:40 start over on US 105.9. Boston over the Chicago White Sox 3-1. We also had Parkland winning over the weekend when it comes to baseball, and actually split with John Wooden Community College. The softball team wins over Lincoln Land, so they're 27-11 on this season. We also had Illinois with a big win over Indiana yesterday. Shauna Green with some new recruits coming through the portal. Aliyah Guyton is from Peoria, from the Iowa Hawkeyes as a sophomore. I know Shauna Green has some Iowa ties, being from that area. And Maddie Weber is coming in from Villanova as a junior guard from Pennsylvania. Pacers wrap up their season against Cleveland 126-118, so they're in the NBA playoffs and 2 overtimes in that game. And the Bulls have a play-in game on Wednesday after beating the 76ers 122-106.
Weather this morning brought to you by Busey for over 155 years. Member FDIC. Stand by. We have a good Stever you'll like, you'll need. Stand by for a Stever opportunity coming next after Greg Solier.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Eastern Illinois, Champaign, and vicinity. First half of the week, quiet, increasing shower chances as we approach the Easter holiday weekend and beyond. Matter of fact, a wet and active weather pattern ahead for next week. In the meantime, nothing more than a sprinkle coming along in spots this morning. Partly sunny, windy, 65. The west wind, 20 to 30 and gusty. Windy, cooler tonight, a few clouds and 42. Tomorrow, sunshine, windy and cooler at 55. The northwest wind continues on, 20 to 30 and gusty. Diminishing wind, clear skies, colder, and some patchy frost late tomorrow night, low down to 34. And a frosty start Wednesday morning, sunny, a bit milder in the afternoon, lighter wind at 62. Shower chances increase Thursday, breezy and milder at 65. On Good Friday, windy, warmer, 77 with a couple of showers and thunderstorms. Shower chances back in for Sunday and Saturday as well. Weekend highs, 65 on Saturday. Easter Sunday high at 66. Showers and thunderstorms on the increase late Sunday into Monday. Highs early next week in the 70s. States. For DVJ Broadcasting, I'm Beetlejuice, Greg Solke.
All right, coming up, we'll play some Rory, so you'll get to hear his raw emotion for one of the greatest golfers that we've seen in an era. Rory McIlroy winning the Masters, so we'll do that. We also have your Stever to announce. I've got Donald Trump going to the UFC. I just don't think you can ever find audio tape of the reaction that the president gets when he goes to stuff like that. We're going to play some of that, and we've got just some really good clips here I want to play for you here as we go. It is Monday. This is April 14, ESPN 93.5. We'll be right back.
I'm Charles Payne, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Pfizer is halting development of its experimental weight loss pill. The Wall Street Journal says a Pfizer study subject developed a liver injury that might have been caused by the treatment. The medication is called danuglipron. Apple shares are up 4.5%. The Trump administration exempted smartphones, laptop computers, and other electronics imported from China, though Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick and President Trump have made statements indicating more tariffs could be coming soon on electronic products. Starbucks is revealing a stricter dress code for its baristas. They'll need to wear black shirts along with khaki, black, or blue denim bottoms. Starbucks says the clearer dress code will provide a more consistent coffee house experience. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Cosola. Invested in you.
No, I don't know.
Every hour of every day, Fox News Radio is there with the latest breaking news and information you rely on.
This is a Fox News alert.
I'm Lisa Brady.
I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
With Fox News correspondents around the globe.
At the White House, Simon Owen in London.
On Capitol Hill, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
The news that matters most to you. The top headlines, all in one place. Listen and follow the Fox News Hourly Update at foxnewspodcasts.com or ask your smart speaker to play Fox News.
Take charge of the years ahead with a smart, sound investment strategy and business succession plan. UC Bank's business and wealth management experts help you envision your best future with powerful insights and proven strategies. Building business and growing wealth since 1868. UC Bank, proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini. Member FDIC.
You've changed thousands of diapers, played hours of peekaboo and duck, duck, goose because you do anything for your kids. That's why it's so important to protect them with life insurance from State Farm. State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow will help make it easy and affordable to help you protect your family no matter what the future holds. Because for the people you do anything for, life insurance could mean everything. Call State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow in Champaign-Urbana today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Drive in, drive out. Recycling's what Max is all about. You can make some cash and do your share. We make it really simple because we care. It doesn't matter large or small. Our friendly staff will handle it all. Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
All right, so we have a Stever. I'm giving out free car, truck, or van batteries. Say what? Interstate batteries,
yes.
Outrageously dependable. $150 voucher for free.
Nice.
What?
They're located over by the High School of St. Thomas More. Way out there, but worth the drive.
Yes, if you go to GoStever.com, if you haven't had a change of battery in the last 4 years, Interstate says it's time.
Well, with the weather being so nice too, the golf carts are going, and people are getting the mower and the boat and all the stuff with the batteries all ready to go.
I got a $150 voucher. It's at GoStever.com. GoStever.com. If you are interested in that, we would love to share that with you.
Awesome.
Brother Johnny again here. Always a pleasure to have Johnny in the studio in Philo, downtown Philo, where it is the center of the universe. We were all rooting, all of me was rooting for Rory McIlroy. Okay. Here's his last putt.
The long journey is over. McIlroy has his masterpiece.
Gets down and shakes like a leaf crying. Amazing.
Well, I got to say, It was 2 feet, and I was wondering if he was going to make that
I'm
one.
telling you
because
what.
it was up and down.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I was encouraged. I could have finished yesterday because poor old Ober and I would have probably tied on that hole. I could have got a 7. The poor guy, and he was in contention on 16 to go ahead.
Yeah.
And then he tripled the last.
And who was that?
Abert, the guy who...
Aberg.
And they were...
Oberg.
They were waiting for him because he was going from trap to trap. It was tough.
So I didn't know he had a 7. I didn't. Yeah. So he was wow. Anyway, it was Roy who had that 2011. Ouch! He was 4 shots up. I think hit it to the cabins on 10.
But he did look different. He got a double on the first, but he hit as good a drive as a guy can hit, and missed the fairway by about 18 inches and hit the trap up front, so he couldn't get out of it and got a double bogey. But he wasn't playing. It wasn't like he choked one off. It's just
he said he was unbelievably nervous. He said, but after the double, it calmed me down. And then on 13,
after that first hole
double, he said it calmed me down.
In a funny way. It kind of like,
that's what
okay, I've blown it again.
Well, then on 13, he just hit a Stevie J. It just was flinged to the right into the water. I mean, wow. Rory. So anyway,
15, he made that one up. But the worst shot of the day for Rory McIlroy was the 18th second. That's a shot he's made about 50,000 times.
That putt on 18?
No, 135 to the green.
Oh, in the sand.
And he puts it in the sand.
Yeah,
that's like, you know, he could do that with his eyes closed probably 10 out of 10
Yeah,
times.
right. All right, so here he is in the Butler cabin. The great Jim Nance, and he is really, the whole thing was more motion than we've seen in golf in a very, very long time.
Got to ask you about the reaction.
Yeah.
Because it was as authentic as anything anyone's ever seen.
Yeah.
Trevor Immelman said on our broadcast here in the States that was 11 years in the making, and we really did see the weight that you had been carrying all that time.
Yeah.
And we talked about the journey to be here, what Jerry and Rose did for their boy, for him to be this career Grand Slam winner. What was that moment like, and what is it right now, just seconds away from having that green jacket?
Yeah, I would say it was 14 years in the making from, going out with the 4-shot lead in 2011, feeling like I could have got it done there. And there was a lot of pent up emotion that just came out on that 18th green. And, but, I think, a moment like that makes all the years and all the close calls worth it. And I want to say hello to my mum and dad. They're back home in Northern Ireland.
They made a lot of sacrifices for you.
They did, and I can't wait to see them next week. I just can't wait to celebrate this with them.
Wow, that's just unreal. I mean, I've seen Roy win before, but not like that.
Well, and he's still good. He's 35. Probably got some gas in the tank.
Yeah, and what I heard some commentary after that. He said, had he not won this, it's possible he never wins one of those. I mean, it was just, you're getting along.
Well, it was amazing that he had some real points in that round that he's cratered. Well, we've all just cratered when something like that happens, but he just kept coming back.
I know.
Yeah.
And so that was what was amazing. But that guy can hit the ball.
Oh, my goodness.
He's not as big as DeChambeau.
No, DeChambeau crushes it, but is he very much longer than Rory McIlroy?
No.
Rory goes 3.50, doesn't he?
Yeah.
It's just unreal.
He reminds me of Jamie Fairbanks.
Yeah, the great Big Ten champion, Jamie Fairbanks.
Because he wasn't a big, huge guy.
No.
And as an engineer, I'm watching and I go, I do not know what they're doing. Christian's another one.
Yeah, Christian can bomb it. I don't know. It's just torque and speed.
It's all efficiency and timing with the weight transfer to the club head. I know the engineering explanation. I can't.
Why can't we do that?
Right.
I don't know.
Why can't I hit the ball like that? Just, a lot of reasons. We're going to break, but right back. I got to play the UFC Donald Trump into the arena. He takes an entourage with him. By the way, it looked like he dissed Robert Kennedy Jr.'s wife. He hugged Robert Kennedy Jr. She holds her hand out, and he just walks away. He went back, talked to her. I mean, somebody must have gotten hold of him and said, hey, did you know that you didn't? He didn't see the handshake.
No.
But it was a melee. I mean, Johnny, you put a president out there, and they generally have a mix. hey, boo, hey, but there's no booing.
Well,
here.
not at UFC. No, where he goes, they're not going to be.
Yeah.
No, he's got where if you're for Trump, you're for him. If you're not, you're not.
Let me let you hear this coming up next. ESPN 93.5, Fox News just around the corner. Fisher National Bank text line 217-359-2255.
This is Starla Carr with Provident Financial Group. There's no one-size-fits-all retirement plan. Finding the right plan for you depends on many factors. The good news is we can help you improve your retirement readiness, whatever your situation. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network. Member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
Kelsey Furniture in downtown Tuscola sells Tempur-Pedic beds. What's it like?
I'm going to tell you right now, Stevie, that thing is the best thing I've ever slept on in my life. My wife and I both have said we've never had better night's sleep. And the people at Kelsey's were fantastic. Brian is the guy that helped us. You know, as much as I did my research, he had a world of knowledge about beds themselves. Oh, man, it's like sleeping on a cloud, man.
Kelsey Furniture, downtown Tuscola.
Fox News, I'm CJ Papa. According to court documents out this morning, Cody Ballmer planned to beat Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro with a hammer if he found him. Officials say the Harrisburg man scaled an iron security fence and set fire to the governor's mansion over the weekend. He's now facing numerous charges. The 20% tariff related to fentanyl in place for things like smartphones, iPhones, and laptops, so more clarity on the horizon, according to the president.
Like we did with steel, like we did with automobiles, like we did with aluminum, which are now fully on. We'll be doing that with semiconductors, with chips, and numerous other things.
Some befuddled by the rollout.
Some confusion was spurred from the mixed messaging. The Commerce Secretary said on one of the Sunday shows the exemption was never meant to give the industry a free pass forever and that the new charges would be announced soon.
And that's Fox's Jackie Heinrich reporting this morning at the White House. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Urbana Police announcing one of its sergeants named the state ambassador for a countrywide organization. Department announcing that Sergeant Matthew McKinney named the Illinois ambassador for the Law Enforcement Community Engagement Network. It's a national organization dedicated to advancing trust building and relationship-focused policing. Realtors across the nation painting a more optimistic picture for people wanting to buy homes this spring. They're hoping the market bounces back after sales of previously occupied houses fell last year to their lowest level in nearly 30 years. Stephanie Pratt from Coldwell Banker in Champaign said Champaign-Urbana is an insulated market because it's a college town. Blood donation numbers on the decline, and Impact Life officials say they're below their collection goals each week. That's why they're partnering with the Champaign-Urbana chapter of the Knights of Columbus, hosting a blood drive. Anyone over 18, you can do so. You can help out. The event will be held at Holy Cross Catholic Church May 4th in Champaign. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom.
All right, check of our weather. Thank you, Jim. Our weather brought to you this morning by Kramer's Siding and Window.
Get beauty, safety, and energy efficient at your new front door with lots of styles and colors to suit you. Learn more at kramersiding.org.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Eastern Illinois. Champaign event is Saturday. Windy over the next couple of days. Ups and downs on temperature. Then we'll level off back to and then above seasonal readings. A warm-up slated for the Easter holiday weekend, and wet weather gets going as well. That'll last into the better part of next week, too. Other than a sprinkle for the day today, a partly sunny, windy, dry day's worth of weather at 65. The west wind, 20 to 30 and gusty. Windy, cooler tonight, a few clouds and 42. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, windy, and cooler with a high up to 55. The northwest wind, 20 to 30 and gusty. Winds drop back tomorrow night. Clear skies, patchy frost late. The colder low of 34. Some patchy frost early on Wednesday. Sunny, a bit milder and 62. 65 with a shower chance increasing on Thursday, especially in the afternoon. Windy, warmer with a couple of outbreaks of showers and thunderstorms. Good Friday with a high to about 77. 65 with a couple of showers and spots on Saturday. Easter Sunday, increasing shower thunderstorm chances, especially the afternoon. That'll carry on into Monday. 66 on Easter Sunday. 76 early next week. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldier.
At Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery, we're flooring people with amazing service, great design advice, and unbeatable selection and the best prices in town. It's the perfect time to update your home with waterproof flooring, carpet, hardwood, tile, and more. Then complete your rooms by shopping our incredible selection of furniture and accessories. We also offer great financing options. Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery, we're flooring people.
Well, it is Monday. This is April 14. Tax deadline tomorrow. If you've not done that, that's tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Or you get an extension to move on.
Are we good,
now.
fellas? Are we ready to go? Have we signed all the documents?
Johnny has. I still have a little work to do.
Okay,
so.
I've taken care of mine.
Good
Thanks
for you.
to Mike Anderson.
Well done. High five. All right. Don't we have a COVID day or something? Can we get a COVID week?
Right.
ESPN 93.5. I'm Stevie J. Brother Johnny's in the house. Diane Ducey. We going to mention the Donald Trump thing in a second. Remember on Friday, the woman is going, well, they want 1 vote per household in this SAFE Act. I finally figured out what that was.
Okay.
That's a voting correction where you're trying to get a clean, you know who's voting versus IDs and all these other things where you can't vote twice and all these other safety measures. Well, they're saying, well, women won't be able to vote because their birth certificate. It's not true. None of that is true. It's just anything you do to tweak our current election, including drop boxes, voter suppression.
Well, the truth is it's just real easy to commit voter fraud, and I don't think it's reserved for Democrats. I think they're the ones who invented it and have certainly perfected it, but the Republicans are going to walk right into that. It's just going to be a real fiasco, and it's obvious, and you can scream at each other all you want, but when you can make your own ballots and put them in an unmonitored drop box, it's just Katie bar the door.
Okay,
both sides.
So tell me, what are the main attributes to a good, safe election?
I think you just do what we originally thought. You go and you vote. If you want to give 2 or 3 weeks early voting, I don't have a problem with that. But you have to show up and vote. If you can't, go vote. And some can't. Not half the country.
Right.
So you don't have to print the ballot for every single person registered in the state of California, 21 million ballots, when you know maybe 12 or 14 million will ever vote. And so that leaves all these votes out there that could be delivered if someone fabricated them, and they're not impossible to make. And so you just have to show up and vote. If you have an absentee ballot in Louisiana, you have to have a witness and your signature.
Wow.
On the absentee ballot.
So is Louisiana?
And it's got to get there before the election's
so not
over.
2 weeks after.
No.
And so in Louisiana, do you think that's a safe system?
I think it's about as safe as there is going.
Okay.
And so, yes, I do. And you're never going to get rid of. There's always a way to cheat if you want to in anything.
Yeah.
And I just think you have to make it harder for voting, because it is actually the key to the democratic republic we have is the vote. And then if we can be confident that this is what we want, we'll get along better.
Why COVID, don't touch anything, COVID. COVID's over. Why do we still have drop boxes?
Well, the whole thing with that, there was no reason to do that for COVID either. And it was a way to break into a whole new level of possible fraud, which is remote boxes. Now you just allow voting registration all the way to the vote, which allows every precinct in the state that you're in to register a voter online. That's the only way you can be connected. And now any hacker can register a vote. Now you can print your ballot at home. Now you can go to the box and drop it off. And I guess the basis for the boxes was that no American can get to the post office.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? All you have to do is drop your mail-in ballot at the post office. Well, you can't drop 7 or 8 at a time. If you get caught doing that, you're toast. So you just move where you can drop them somewhere. There's places a lot of people wouldn't be comfortable going where they
was there something to Dinesh D'Souza's 2000 mule?
Yes. What do you mean something? They had the phone IDs of people who kept going back to the boxes over and over, and the video of them putting multiple ballots in the box, which is illegal in all 50 states, and taking an iPhone picture of them putting it in the box so they'd get the $10 a vote. And they've had people who told them that's what we did, and it was all poo-pooed anecdotal, Fauci anecdotals, which is an absolute truth you don't want anyone to believe.
Yeah, right.
That's a Fauci anecdotal.
All right. So safe. The safe voter.
You just have to go and vote.
Yeah, right.
Give people time. One day is a little unrealistic, but registered voter who's got an ID, which you have for absolutely everything.
Yeah.
I still have to show an ID in some groceries to get a bottle of wine.
Well, you got to show at Dollar General. They got to scan my license to buy NyQuil.
So there you go.
Well,
and
I mean, what am I doing?
So
with
that's
NyQuil?
another red herring that they'll distraction to say, oh no, we don't all have IDs. Everybody does have an ID.
Or you can't fly.
You can't do anything.
You can't do.
Well,
anything.
you can't get any government programs.
No.
You can't do anything.
Yeah, the ID is silly.
And now we could argue about, well, I don't want to have an ID. I'd be on that side, but
Yeah.
we do.
That's right.
We get a social security number, and then we got all of that to do the job, and it would take an effort to vote. It won't be, what are you doing tonight? Nothing. Well, come get pizza and vote. What we voting on? Well, there's some people. What are they running for? Just vote Democrat. Come on, get some pizza. We can't do that. If we're going to be serious about it, you can't do that.
All right, Donald Trump went to UFC. This is kind of how that sounded.
And making the entrance right now to a standing ovation, the 47th president of the United States of America, flanked by UFC CEO Dana White and others, Donald J. Trump.
The people that aren't cheering are videoing on their cameras.
Anybody else that has a walk-in other than a fighter? He has a what? He has some music. Kid Rock starts playing.
He had one at the NCAA tournament too. He always gets a walkout.
I think it's a remarkable response.
Well, I think that Donald Trump needs people yelling, yay, to survive, because why would you do that? The guy doesn't stop. He doesn't need it.
No.
He just likes doing it.
Well, he is a fan of UFC. He does like. He likes the appreciation. No, I think there's no question.
He loves to. He
being
laughs
cheered
it up.
like that.
But I'd probably walk into a couple of these, but I would just quit doing it because I would run out of gas.
And then he brings his entourage, Johnny. There's got to be another 25 people with him. I saw Mike Johnson there, Ted Cruz, and they're always wearing suits. Isn't that interesting on a fight night? But he thinks it's like politics. He said, beat the crap out of each other, and then you figure stuff out. You hug at the end.
Okay, well, maybe yeah.
Maybe that's it.
That's
but then
true.
again, here's the other thing. How do they secure that? He's shaking hands. I mean, did they know he's coming? So the Secret Service, do they plan these things, and how you extra screen people? Because a lot of people have pocket knives, right?
Don't know, Steve.
I don't have any idea how you.
I'm sure they do have the entry metal detectors.
Right.
I mean, we do that
just like any other event.
At the McNeese State Rodeo, you got to do that.
But isn't there extra secured? Like maybe you do like an airport to check to see if they've got chopsticks in their pocket. I mean, that could be used as a weapon.
Well, anyway, he's going with it. And
it's amazing.
Come what may.
No, it's amazing.
That's right.
But you could see particularly the faces of the Secret Service walking through that mass. And he's shaking hands. That's the old style. I don't see too many presidents shaking hands anymore like that. But anyway, it's just a remarkable thing to the reception he gets.
We are getting some response at 359-2255 about the ballot boxes and early voting, and mail-in just ramps up the voter fraud. So kind of reaffirming what you're saying there, Johnny. Mail-in ballots should have to be prior to the election, not up to 14 days
I don't know about
after.
the 14 after. I mean, come on.
Well, you got to minimize. Now, you can talk about a right-winger like Jimmy Carter, who said you have to be careful about the number of mail-in ballots. And he wasn't even talking about mail-ins. He was talking about absentee ballots. Can get out of control. There's really no way to trace it. There's just no way. And then with the drop boxes, which are a variation of mail-ins, it's even more vulnerable, because you literally can print your ballot at home. You can register somebody. If you're a hacker, now you still have to break into the system, but the Secretary of State in Colorado, or else she was in charge of the elections in Colorado, leaked out the code that you needed to get into the database. And she said, oh, well, I should. That was a little sloppy. And so anybody can register you. And don't forget, in a place like Champaign County or Boulder, Colorado, you've got the entire student body can vote.
Yeah.
So you need what do you need? A list of the students. You just put them in. What are the chances they'll actually go vote? 1.1. So you just sign them up. What are you going to do with them? Put them in the box.
Yeah.
There is a signature check, but a lot of those are, if you really grill them, it's a spot check. They can't go through all of them. Did you see the video of the envelopes going like a dollar bill counter?
Yeah.
Yeah. Every one of those votes is 100% no doubt good.
Yeah.
And you talk about voter ID. There's no voter. Forget the ID. There's just an envelope with a ballot in it. Where did it come from? Well, we just got these late, but they still should count if they're dated before the thing.
Right.
I mean, it is so ridiculous that to argue that you couldn't have fraud, you're just being ridiculous. It's obvious you could have fraud. Therefore,
both sides, you said. Both sides.
Yeah, sure. But I think the Democrats are winning that. They invented the system. They browbeat the Republicans into doing it. And then the Republicans, I think, well, wait a minute. Okay. But my theory is if it's possible to cheat, then someone will cheat. I don't think that's unrealistic when you think of some of our famous sports figures who've cheated. If they could win a medal, how about taking over the world?
Yeah.
You think there's any incentive for that?
And I truly believe more than ever, because of our mental health after COVID, that they're doing it to save the country from Hitler. It's your duty, your patriotic duty, to make sure he doesn't get in again. So whatever the case, they're going to do it under those auspices of I got to prevent him, I got to stop him.
Well, it goes higher than that. The funding and the strategy is from the globalists who want a better world that can be controlled centrally, which won't work, but that's what they would like. And the progressives have been a great tool to manipulate, to basically undermine our country. We're not talking about better policies. We're just talking about screaming, bad sportsmanship, you could call it, lighting Teslas on fire. What's that? Just anything, screaming about uncovering fraud and abuse, denying everything you see with your own eyes, and it just really chips away at the pillars of a society.
Well, we'll be into midterms here pretty soon, and then what? So we will see, but it does appear that they're trying through legislation to tighten it up.
Well, of course, it depends on how much progress is made that impacts Americans positively as to how we'll do in the midterms. For instance, if we start making a bunch of good trade deals in the next 90 days, within 90 days, by the way, and things start looking real good, that's huge.
Yeah, no doubt.
That's just, so that's the chance we have if we make these great trade deals with all these countries that have been given a pause on the tariffs, other than the 10%, then China is going to be feeling a lot of pressure. So.
Want to play a little Bill Maher at some point? Did you hear any of that? Bill Maher had lunch with the president, dinner with the president.
I knew he went there. I didn't hear it.
Well, and he's a big liberal, but I think there's a couple of edits I have to make.
Yeah.
But it's pretty good. I think he's a liberal that people respect from the standpoint of honesty, saying the left went way too far. It's the woke stupid. I mean, all that. So he'd be a guy that's not afraid to speak out. And he said, I'm going to tell you what happened, and I don't give a blank if you don't like it. But here's what happened. Apparently, it was amazing.
Okay.
He said, I voted for Clinton.
About what happened at the meeting
with Trump. At the meeting with Trump.
Which was surprisingly good. And he's
which
like,
was shockingly good. Yeah. And he said, I supported Clinton. I supported Obama. I could never have spoken to them the way I spoke to Trump. I would never have been comfortable enough, but I was with him. And he said, and he listened.
Well, there was another supporter of Obama that could never get a call back from anybody at the White
billionaire.
House. And he did think that it was amazing how you could get anyone at this White House to talk to about something.
No, it's he was taken back for sure. He said we disagreed, but he said, where is that guy when it's in front of people? He said, I didn't recognize him. It was so different than what I thought he was.
Okay.
So anyway, I'll play some of that here in the next hour. Stand by. It is 7:49. A quick check of your morning sports. Diane's got that.
We had the St. Louis Cardinals winning against the Phillies 7-0. Sonny Gray on the mound as we start up a series against Houston with a 6:45 start. I've been taking note of Illini nights, and for the Cardinals down at Busch, they've got a cool hat that they'll be giving away Wednesday, June 25th, 6:45 start, in case you want to take note of that. Our Cubs over the Dodgers 4-2. I was amazed how the Cubs came out over the Dodgers.
Yeah, they beat the Dodgers 16-0 on Saturday. The worst loss in the history of the Dodgers.
I'm basking in the glory of being a Cub fan in April.
First about that?
Place. How many years have we just jumped into this kind of juggernaut in April? Got a little less in May than the rest.
Especially after that Tokyo series that kind of, quote-unquote, started the season.
But this year could be the year, Diane.
Yeah. I've heard that before, Johnny. We've got San Diego with an 8:40 start over on US 105.9 as the Cubs stay on the West Coast. Boston over Chicago's White Sox 3-1. Their Illini night will be on Tuesday, May 20th, and they've got a cool-looking sweatshirt that they're giving away as the game is against the Mariners. All right, we had Illinois baseball at 20-13 on this season, 15-1 winners in 7 innings yesterday against Indiana. Now they'll have SIUE with Jackie Robinson Day tomorrow at 6, in case you'd like to check them out. We had some wins from the Cobras also to talk about. Shauna Green adding some great players out of the portal. Maddie Weber is from Pennsylvania, a 5'11 junior guard out of Villanova. And Elia Guyton, who's from Peoria, 5'7 sophomore, came from Iowa's program. So go Illini, way to go, Shauna Green. Lots of prep happening now as we get ready for Coaches versus Cancer. That's coming up on Wednesday, the 16th at Gordyville. So if you're wanting to get one of the last few tickets, now's the time to Google and learn more about that. Blackhawks at Montreal tonight. We have Roy McIlroy as the Green Jacket winner for the 89th Masters.
Yeah, pretty exciting. Roy's emotions were I think, legendary, and it was lovely to see really the real feelings and how he struggled for so long with having a 4-shot lead in 2011 and having to live with that. Anyway, it was amazing how good Roy was early. He had a little afro going on when he was 19 out on the PGA.
Oh, no, he's been good. He's good. You know, Justin Rose isn't too bad, and he's lost 2 playoffs for the Masters.
I know.
I think this is the second place finish for him.
Oh, is it really? Yeah.
Oof,
no, he's good.
He's really a great player.
He's 44.
Is he really? Yeah. Man, Johnny, it's hard to win anything. Right? It's just hard to win anything.
And he had a great shot, by the way. He didn't do anything wrong.
No.
He had to make that little longer putt.
Why didn't that putt roll back, though? I don't quite understand. He almost hold it. He was like a couple inches. The ball hit right by but it went up, and it usually rolls, not the spin or something on it. But he thought it'd roll back some, just like Roy's did. But it was a remarkable golf tournament.
I kept thinking about you and your commentary about life and golf and how similar they are and overcoming adversity and how Roy just came out on top.
Well, it is up and down, isn't it, Johnny? Life can be a grind, and certainly golf epitomizes, I think. I can write a 2-page paper on somebody I golf with about who they are, what they do, what they believe.
It's interesting.
It's revealing.
And one thing golf does teach you, or not, because you just won't do very well if you can't recover from the adversity, such as heeling it into the water.
That's
okay,
right.
You heeled it in the water. Don't throw the club. Don't screw up the rest of the whole round. Just try to make the next shot better. And on that next par 5, Roy McIlroy hit one of the best shots in the history of golf, which was that hook iron around the tree for the eagle onto 15, if you remember that shot.
Yeah.
You didn't.
I was driving, but I catching glimpses and listening.
No, you got to watch that one.
Unreal. Around the tree.
Sometimes those formed shots don't form.
Yeah.
They go way out.
Form enough.
It was boom. And it was probably, I guess, 6 or 8 feet. I can't actually remember if he made the eagle putt, but of course got the birdie.
Wow.
But that shot was after he had hit it.
After that, not to recover, right?
Yeah, no, that was.
It's just a remarkable game,
and that's what life. You have to get up from the disaster, and you especially feel bad if you feel like you could have done something different. And which in golf you could have, because it's just you.
And how many times in life do you say, "Well, I should have said it that way"?
Yeah.
And in golf, it's like no matter what, I shot 65, it should have been 64. You know, that kind of thing.
Yep.
It's always that other branch.
Second guessing yourself.
But it's just such a parallel of life of things that happen that aren't fair. The ball hit the cart path. If it hadn't hit the cart path, it wouldn't have gone out of bounds, that kind of thing. But then sometimes it hits a tree and goes back to the fairway.
Yep.
That's a good thing.
It's because it's just you playing.
Yeah.
Golf is kind of you can have golf teams matches, but it's really your game.
Yeah.
And which really nobody else cares about, but except maybe if they're playing you, whether you hit it in the water, because as there's an old saying, every shot in golf makes somebody happy.
That's right.
And so,
well, and I think the reason I evolved toward loving the game so much is that it was not subjective. In baseball, basketball, football, who's not playing linebacker? Why isn't he in there more? Why don't you play my son at center? All these other things. And then in golf, it's simply what'd you shoot?
No,
what's your score?
Right. Even with the PGA, well, I can't get on the PGA. Yeah, actually, you can. You just go up here, and you enter one of the qualifying rounds.
Yeah,
and if you win it, you're on the tee.
There you go.
PGA.
You go. Nathaniel played in the John Deere qualifier 10 years ago. We tried that. I mean, you had to. Now, it's not easy, but you get with a bunch of guys that are scraping around trying to make a buck, and they're all great players, even at that level. And at the qualifier, you had to get 72 to advance, and then if you wanted to get in the John Deere, you had to shoot 65, 66.
I think John Daly was in a qualifier.
Yes.
And one of the guys who beat him couldn't play.
Yeah.
And he drove all night and won the whole thing. And the rest was history.
I know.
Him.
Unreal. That's a great story. In his recliner, I think in his trailer. And he was just like as happy Gilmore as you're going to get. And he drove all night and he won the PGA championship with, I think, a cigarette hanging out of his mouth.
I love it.
It was a remarkable. All right, we'll break for the news. We'll come right back. Did I do weather?
I'm not sure.
Let's just do weather. Let's do Kramer Siding and Window.
Okay.
Our sponsor.
Well, there we go. Beauty, safety, energy efficiency on your front door. Lots of styles and colors to suit you. KramerSiding.com.
Logan, everyone. Let's check weather for Central Illinois. Champaign event vicinity. First half of the week, quiet, increasing shower chances as we approach the Easter holiday weekend and beyond. Matter of fact, a wet and active weather pattern ahead for next week. In the meantime, nothing more than a sprinkle coming along in spots this morning. Partly sunny, windy, 65. The west wind, 20 to 30 and gusty. Windy, cooler tonight. A few clouds and 42. Tomorrow, sunshine, windy and cooler at 55. The northwest wind continues on, 20 to 30 and gusty. Diminishing wind, clear skies, colder, and some patchy frost late tomorrow night, low down to 34. And a frosty start to Wednesday morning, sunny, a bit milder in the afternoon, lighter wind at 62. Shower chances increase Thursday, breezy and milder at 65. On Good Friday, windy, warmer, 77 with a couple of showers and thunderstorms. Shower chances back in for Sunday and Saturday as well. Weekend highs, 65 on Saturday. Easter Sunday high at 66. Showers and thunderstorms on the increase late Sunday into Monday. Highs early next week in the 70s. For DVJ Broadcasting, I'm Beetlejuice, Greg Solke.
Here's another home improvement insight from Kramer Siding and Window. New roofing and siding are a winning combination that can instantly change the look, feel, and function of your home. Our Kramer Siding and Window team takes pride in being an Owens Corning Platinum Preferred contractor, able to offer a best-in-the-business 50-year warranty. Pair it with preservation siding in your favorite style and color, and your home will be a showstopper. Start today and save 10% on roofing and 25% on siding. Call us, click on KramerSiding.com, or visit the showroom in Champaign.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Why use Land's Underground Solutions? We have the team, the technology, the tools, and the most experienced team in the industry.
Hi, it's Wes from Land's Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Our mission at Land's is to provide top-tier service, prioritize our customers with upfront pricing, and maintain exceptional communication. We assure you at Land's we will only recommend what you truly need, from regular maintenance on your home's mechanical systems with the Land's Comfort family to replacement of existing equipment. Now would be a great time to consider updating your HVAC system. Visit us at landsinc.com.
And now, Kelsey Briggs, owner of Salon 105 in Mahomet.
We're trying to bring something big to a small area and bring luxury into our small community. It is definitely a dream come true. I knew from a young age that I always wanted to do hair and own a salon, which is why I got a business degree, and it has led me here. And the growth has just been so much faster than I anticipated, but it's been amazing. One thing that really sets us apart as a salon is our team. We have such an amazing atmosphere. Everyone is so respectful to each other, and it's pretty essentially a drama-free zone. We do a lot of team building and hang out with each other outside of work so that we can get to know each other on a personal base, which makes our environment very welcoming to anyone who comes in.
Salon 105, providing friendly, personalized service through a terrific, highly skilled team. To book your appointment, visit salon-105.com. That's salon-105.com. All right, we'll break. Got the news from Fox. They'll come back with a whole nother exciting hour. The boys this afternoon after 3 o'clock today on The Drive. Nothing from the Illinois basketball camp that I know of anyway. I haven't heard any news regarding extra people that we might be getting, so maybe Derek Piper will know later today on the inside. All right, we'll be right back. You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
"100% not expecting a recession." I'm Chris Foster. Fox News White House economic advisor Kevin Hassett also says there's been enormous progress in trade talks with the European Union. Negotiators are in D.C. today for meetings about President Trump's new import tariffs, with more promised if deals aren't reached in 90 days. The president says he'll announce tariffs on chips and semiconductors this week, with Hassett telling Fox Business.
The thing is that we're deciding which things are covered in which bucket. And so what everybody decided is that for semiconductors, that there are going to be semiconductors like those in toasters that maybe we're not so worried about.
President Trump visits with El Salvador's President Nayib Bukele at the White House this morning. A mega prison in his country is where a Maryland man's being held, accused of gang membership by the Trump administration. The Justice Department says it's not required to work with El Salvador's government to bring him home. New Jersey Senate Democrat Cory Booker says President Trump is defying a court order.
Senator Booker said Kilmar Abrego Garcia should be returned to the U.S., and the fact that he hasn't should resonate with every American. On NBC's Meet the Press, Senator Booker said the Supreme Court order to facilitate Abrego Garcia's return makes a point.
You cannot disappear people off American streets.
The Trump administration claims the court's ruling steps on the president's right to conduct foreign affairs.
That's Fox's Gernal Scott. A Harrisburg, Pennsylvania man says his hatred of Governor Josh Shapiro is why he set fire to the governor's official residence. 38-year-old Cody Balmer also tells police after turning himself in, he'd have beaten the governor with a hammer if he'd seen him. The governor is Jewish and had just hosted a Passover dinner.
No one will deter me or my family or any Pennsylvanian from celebrating their faith openly and proudly.
Police on security detail pounded on the door and helped get everybody out safely. The Coast Guard says one person is dead, 5 missing, with 4 rescued from a capsized boat off Florida's Atlantic coast. America's listening to Fox News.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZzzQuil.
ZzzQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZzzQuil nights. Explore our products at ZzzQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Don't get suckered into the same old free phone game by Big Wireless. There is a better way. Pure Talk, my sponsor, my wireless company, has a better offer. A brand new free Samsung Galaxy with qualifying plan for $35 a month. You get unlimited talk, unlimited text, 15 gigs of data, all on America's most dependable 5G network. Just dial pound 250, say the keyword Pure Talk for your free Samsung Galaxy with qualifying plan. Pure Talk, wireless by Americans for Americans.
In about a half hour, a Blue Origin rocket is scheduled to take the first all-female crew since 1963 into space. The company's owner, Jeff Bezos' fiancée, Lauren Sanchez, TV host Gayle King, singer Katy Perry, civil rights activist Amanda Nguyen, former rocket scientist Aisha Bowe, and filmmaker Carrie Ann Flynn.
Power descent lasts about 2 minutes, reaching speeds of over Mach 3, which is 3 times the speed of sound. And then about 4 minutes into the journey, they will reach the farthest point from Earth on their trip. And at the same time, the crew will start experiencing weightlessness. This is only an 11-minute round trip flight, so we'll see parachutes returning these astronauts to Earth shortly after that.
That's Fox's Kelly Saberi covering the launch in Van Horn, Texas. The Masters Golf Tournament, a roller coaster ride for the player who finally wins it.
People were starting to wonder if Rory McIlroy would ever win another major.
He won 4 of them between 2011 and 2014, but none since, despite multiple close calls. All the ingredients were there for another heartbreak this year at Augusta, but despite losing a 2-stroke lead at the start of the final round, a 4-stroke lead on the back 9, and then missing a putt to win it on the final hole, he somehow recovered, beating Justin Rose in a sudden death playoff.
To think that I'm up here wearing one of those green jackets is, honestly, it's a dream come true. Like, my dreams have been made today.
McIlroy courtesy of the Masters. Now, this also makes him only the 6th male golfer ever to win all 4 major tournaments and complete the career Grand Slam. Greg Thompson, Fox News.
The trial starts today in former Alaska Governor Sarah Palin's defamation case against the New York Times. She lost in 2022 but won a new trial on appeal. She's suing over a 2017 Times editorial that Palin's attorneys say accused her of inciting murder 6 years earlier in the shooting in Tucson, Arizona that killed 6 people and badly wounded Congresswoman Gabby Giffords. Michigan former House Republican Mike Rogers says he's going to run for Senate again. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News.
Are you tired of shivering in the winter? Look no further than your local heroes at ABC Heating and Air Conditioning. Hi, this is Gina inviting you to give us a call at 217-352-5400 to book your appointment to make sure your furnaces run safely and efficiently this winter. We've been proudly locally owned and operated and have been serving our community for over 50 years. ABC, always be comfortable. Call me 217-352-5400 to book your appointment today or go to abcheatingandac.com.
Preventative care is a key factor in maintaining your overall health. Don't delay your health care. If you haven't already scheduled your annual wellness checkup and any recommended screenings and immunizations, do it today. Christie Clinic primary care physicians have same-day appointments available. Talk to a Christie Clinic physician about important screenings and immunizations. You don't want to delay. Make an appointment today at ChristieClinic.com and click on online scheduling. Take care of yourself and put your health first.
Race weekend, April 24th through the 26th. Illinois Marathon.com.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
What is most important to you in your life? This is Eric Boland with Provident Financial Group. Whether you're launching a career, raising a family, planning for retirement, or creating a legacy, we can help. At Provident, we provide strategic thinking and perspective that help clients like you realize their goals. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network. Member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
Here's a look at local news. Blood donation numbers are on the decline. At Impact Life, officials say they're below their collection goals this week. That's why they're partnering with the Champaign-Urbana chapter of Knights of Columbus, hosting a blood drive. Anyone over the age of 18 with good health, you can donate. The event's going to be at Holy Cross Catholic Church May 4th in Champaign. Thanks to all who participate in the event. Champaign police say officers dispatched to the 300 block of North Neal Street Sunday. 911 call says a large fight taking place inside a business. When police arrived, they say officers found no fighting and nothing at the scale indicated by the caller. They're investigating. Urbana Police announcing one of its sergeants has been named the state ambassador for a countrywide organization. Department announcing Sergeant Matthew McKinney named the Illinois ambassador of Law Enforcement's Community Engagement Network, which is a national organization dedicated to advancing trust building and relationship-focused policing. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Well, at Waltz Copy Systems, they can offer cost-efficient solutions for your busy offices. If you're interested in a free evaluation, just call them at 217-352-0428. Weather with meteorologist Greg Solier, brought to you by Kurt Lenschow at State Farm Insurance. like a good neighbor, State Farm and Kurt are there.
Well, again, everyone, let's check weather. Freestones will always Champaign event is Saturday. Windy over the next couple of days. Ups and downs on temperature. Then we'll level off back to and then above. Seasonal readings. A warm up slated for the Easter holiday weekend, and wet weather gets going as well. That'll last into the better part of next week, too. Other than a sprinkle for the day today, partly sunny, windy, dry days worth of weather at 65. The west wind 20 to 30 and gusty. Windy, cooler tonight. A few clouds and 42. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, windy, and cooler with 5 to 55. The northwest wind 20 to 30 and gusty. Winds drop back tomorrow night. Clear skies, patchy frost late. The colder low of 34. Some patchy frost early on Wednesday. Sunny, a bit milder at 62. 65 with a shower chance increasing on Thursday, especially in the afternoon. Windy, warmer with a couple of outbreaks of showers and thunderstorms. Good Friday with a high to about 77. 65 with a couple of showers and spots on Saturday. Easter Sunday, increasing shower thunderstorm chances, especially the afternoon. That'll carry on into Monday. 66 on Easter Sunday. 76 early next week. Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldier.
You know, I was the first person to be a woman Attorney General of California. I was the first woman to be elected District Attorney of San Francisco. I was the first person of color to be elected Attorney General of California. Whatever. First. Welcome to the Role Model Club.
Yeah, well, Kamala Harris is back. Will she run for president or governor? Do they really bus people in and pay them to come to her rally? That's what I read.
I think so.
I mean, what's the number? Well, how much would it take, Diane, for you to get on a bus and go cheer?
I'm not sure so much pay them to go to the rallies. I think it's more people that work in areas where Democratic support keeps, like the teachers union.
Well,
the Democrats are strong supporters, so they have teachers. They say, hey, we need to go to the rally, and they do that. And they'll provide transportation.
I've read where they actually had buses that paid people. Now, I don't know how that would happen and how much.
Well, they do that for a lot of things.
$200? Well, what's the number?
I don't know.
You said in Washington, the ladies in your cab were getting $2,500.
That was to go for a weekend in Chicago to protest.
Okay.
And they were asked, well, what are you protesting? And they did say, we won't know that until we get there.
Right. They're going to give us the signs. And we'll be,
that's a whole weekend. That's a little different. That's kind of
I think that
how much for an hour?
I think the Antifa are... Many of those are paid. I don't know that.
Yeah.
I just think that is exactly how they get these professionals to rabble-rouse the crowd.
Does Kamala Harris have a future in politics?
I can't answer that.
Can she win California as is?
You say whatever you want about Kamala. She won 75 million votes.
Because of D by her name, I think.
But it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Would Joe have gotten more votes? We'll never know.
Yeah.
But I don't think you completely dismiss her as a joke, because she did much better than anybody thought she would. She actually did campaign much better than I thought she would. She still has her moments.
Yeah.
And if she was the president right now, I wouldn't move to Ireland, because I don't like Rosie O'Donnell, and she might have moved anyway. But I might go visit Ireland. I got to tell you, we would be in bad shape. She is nobody we want to be chief executive and commander-in-chief of the Army. So, but she got a lot of votes. And how many states did she win? And we still have the automatic Democratic states.
Yeah.
Automatic and Republican. So it's an interesting system. So the answer to your question is I have no idea.
Okay. Well, I think I would make a prediction she'll run for governor. I think she'll win that in California. Because Gavin Newsom's term limited out and he wants to be president. So does J.B. Pritzker. So does Gretchen Whitmer. So does the guy from Pennsylvania, whatever his name is.
But you were saying, will someone like Gavin win the primary? Maybe not if Kamala runs.
I mean, but it's going to be
for the president.
Do you have to be woke to win a primary still in the Democratic Party?
I do not know.
Yeah.
Because the Democrats who are moving more to the center sound a whole lot better to me, but I wouldn't vote for them either. Look, Kamala really has looked at the same numbers we have. And it's not irrational for her to think, I can win this thing. Because Trump was Trump. Who are they going to get? And she would rather be president.
How about Tim Walz as vice president?
Now that is a joke. I've never seen, I hate to say it, Steve, but he's just an ass. You know, Dostoevsky wrote a good book called Brothers Karamazov. There's a guy who always says he's a great and glorious ass. It was an interesting. In high school, I read that. I'm like, that's an interesting phrase.
I see.
And that guy is, and he is the woke guy,
Yeah.
and so is Kamala.
Yeah.
But this guy, I'll tell you what, we can thank him. Well, Kamala's choice of him.
Yeah.
For
Ooh,
Trump.
That was something. All right, quick check of your sports headlines.
St. Louis Cardinals win 7-0 over the Phillies. Did you want to play that?
No, I think we're okay. But good. Hey, Cardinals are right there.
Right.
Second place, I think.
That's right. Sonny Gray to the mound as they face Houston.
Cardinals are actually third, but it's tight. 2-game lead for the Chicago Cubs, who's tops of the Central.
Where are those Reds, Steve?
Tied for second.
Okay.
Reds are coming on.
5 out of 6
5
games.
out of 6 wins. Yeah.
And a win on Friday night, and then going into the gender reveal.
Yeah, that was so fun. I told the story last hour. Really, about 99,000 people have seen it on the Reds X-Files.
So just a quick,
they'll keep watching that one.
A quick summary. Grace, who was Miss Illinois in one chapter, had a bad pitch when she was at the St. Louis Cardinals game in Busch.
Got to let go. That's okay.
On this one, it was just the opposite. It was a little high.
No, she tossed it. She was standing
like a softball.
Oh, no, it wasn't. It wasn't a pitch. It was on the side of him where you just kind of toss it and he swings.
Oh, thank you for clarifying.
So it was high and deep, and nobody understands how Jacob got a bat on that one. And Grace said, "Hey," when all the criticism was that wasn't a very good pitch.
It was a very short, underhand pitch.
Okay.
And it was one of the worst pitches I've ever seen. And I love Gracie. And the Reds want her to be, but they're going to stick with Jacob, is what I heard.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right. So it said it's a girl. All this pink plume came off because he
out
hit
of the baseball.
He somehow squared it up based on everything, and it was very exciting. The whole team showed up, which was a surprise.
Yes.
So they've got real chemistry going on, a great culture at Cincinnati right now.
And then the Jumbotron said, "It's a girl."
girl.
And you
I
can
gotta
see
say,
Stevie and Janet cheering.
For my
It's
beloved
great.
Grace, Jacob can't dance like she can.
Yeah.
Okay? We all have our strengths.
Yeah, that's right.
Chicago Cubs over the LA Dodgers. That final was 4-2. They're starting up a series today against San Diego this evening at 8:40. So you can hear that action over on US 105.9. Boston over the White Sox 3-1. We also had the Pacers wrapping up their season in double overtime over Cleveland, 126-118 NBA playoffs for them. And the Bulls have a play-in game on Wednesday after beating the 76ers 122-106.
Okay, got the marathon in town.
Yes.
We'll have Jan Seeley jump on here in just a few moments.
So excited about hearing about volunteer opportunities.
Brush up on the fundamentals behind sound financial planning for Financial Literacy Month, which is April. Busey Wealth Management encourages you to begin your path to savings today. Automate. Start small. That's fine. Just start. Experts suggest saving 15% of your income for retirement. Make the most of a 401k contribution matching at your workplace. Gradually increase your contribution each year, growing your savings along with your career. And know your retirement savings options. The IRAs provide a simple, effective way to grow your money, like traditional or Roth. Talk to your banker to determine which fits your needs better. Talk to Busey Wealth Management. Don't forget the employer-sponsored plans often offer infinite potential for growth. The sooner you begin saving, the better. Even modest savings can add up over time. Busey Wealth Management is a team of professionals who can help you achieve your dreams for retirement. Why don't you get started and visit Busey.com or stop by one of their many convenient locations today. Investment product services not FDIC insured, may lose value. No bank guarantee. It's Busey.
Busey
All right.
is also heading up the youth run on a marathon, and it's right there in Memorial Stadium. It's a quick, easy register online. Some of the proceeds help out CU Schools Foundation, and that's coming up on April 26th at 3.
Don't forget our Stever offer today is a free battery. It's a $150 voucher. You can go buy a bunch of AA's for all I care. It's $150. It's free. Just go to GoStever.com. It's up there right now. Mark Martinez, a good as battery man, a good businessman, takes care of his customers. People go back time and time again. It is located on North Madison as you're driving toward the high school of St. Thomas More.
2504 North Madison, Champaign.
Outrageously dependable, $150, part of the Stever program. You go within a week, you get your free battery, and then you get a survey that pops up on your phone to tell you how Mark does. Mark consistently comes in super high ratings because people know the service is great and they really, really like what they get from Mark Martinez. So just go to GoStever.com. Thousands of you have joined our Stever Club because I give out money. And all you got to do is you can register and enter at the same time if you would like. It is all there today. Interstate Batteries, outrageously dependable. North Mattis in Champaign. All right, we check your weather again, and darn nice. It's 57 as I was driving in. I think it's a little warmer now.
Yeah.
But nice to get a little more mild as we are April 14. Meteorologist Greg Solier now talks about our week ahead.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Eastern Illinois, Champaign, and Memphis. Saturday, windy over the next couple of days. Ups and downs on temperature, then we'll level off back to and then above. Seasonal readings, a warm-up slated for the Easter holiday weekend, and wet weather gets going as well. That'll last into the better part of next week, too. Other than a sprinkle for the day today, partly sunny, windy, dry days worth of weather at 65. The west wind, 20 to 30 and gusty. Windy, cooler tonight, a few clouds and 42. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, windy, cooler with 5 to 55. The northwest wind, 20 to 30 and gusty. Winds drop back tomorrow night, clear skies, patchy frost late, a colder low of 34. Some patchy frost early on Wednesday, sunny, a bit milder at 62. 65 with a shower chance increasing on Thursday, especially in the afternoon. Windy, warmer with a couple of outbreaks of showers and thunderstorms. Good Friday with a high to about 77. 65 with a couple of showers and spots on Saturday. Easter Sunday, increasing shower thunderstorm chances, especially the afternoon. That'll carry on into Monday. 66 on Easter Sunday, 76 early next week. Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
I'm Taylor Riggs, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Stock futures are rallying on tariff exemptions for tech companies. Though administration officials say levies are coming, Barron says investors are betting the tariffs won't be as severe as those on all imported goods to the U.S., now at 145%. Goldman Sachs shares up 1.5%. After reporting an upbeat quarter, investors boosted trading on market volatility. Pfizer says development of its weight loss pill has been halted. There were high hopes for danuglipron. Other weight loss medications need to be injected, but a person involved in the study developed a liver injury that may be related to the treatment. The liver issue resolved after the person stopped taking the medication. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Cosola. Invested in you.
As President Donald Trump begins his second term.
Promises made, promises kept. We're going to keep our promises.
Stick with the Fox News Rundown as history is made during his first 100 days. Whether it impacts your family, your wallet, or the world, our team of journalists will give you the sharp analysis and perspective you expect from Fox News. The Fox News Rundown, the first 100 days. Listen and follow now at foxnewsrundown.com or wherever you get your favorite podcasts.
The Christie Clinic Illinois Marathon is almost here. Jan Seeley knows something about that. How are you, Jan?
I'm good. Christie Clinic Illinois Race Weekend. We're down to not quite single digits, but we're counting the days and not the weeks and not the months.
Yeah. So what kind of numbers? A zillion people run the 5K?
Well, our total number of registrants is about 9,250.
Wow.
We're gunning to break last year, which was 10,480. If who's counting?
Yeah.
So we got a ways to go, but it's amazing how many people wait to register. I mean, yesterday we got 75 registrations as an example.
Wow. Yeah.
People, I've decided some people sign up early, some people sign up late. The 5K is around 3,400 right now.
Okay.
Pretty big race.
Big race. How many actually run 26.2, Jan?
Well, that's a great question. We last year we had 932 registered, so we've exceeded that number, and the half marathon's up by 400, which is cool.
Yeah.
We can't quite get past 1,000. Here's what happens: 5 people register for the half, and 4 people change from the half full to the half.
I see.
So we get to 999, and then we go back to 996, and then we go back to 999, and then we go back to 995. So I do think we will get over 1,000 and probably be, 1,030, something like that. But an amazing number of people actually don't show up. So, last year with the 932, I think we had a little over 700 finish. Of course, there was weather, et cetera, et cetera. But the important thing is that there's been growth, which is nice, and gosh, really a lot of growth, 15% currently with that half marathon.
As you look at your timeline, Jan, we're in the volunteer zone where we really need some slots filled up for the Christie Clinic Illinois Marathon, right?
Yeah, so I'm gonna go right to the money shot here. Let me just tell you where our areas and if you go to IllinoisMarathon.com, right on the homepage, there's a big fat button. One says register, one says volunteer.
Yeah.
So you click on that, and then it brings you to a page where there's categories of positions. So the Thursday course positions, the Friday course positions, those are filled. Saturday course positions, we do still have openings, and you click on it, and it's exquisitely detailed down to the exact spot where you would be, what you would do. You click on the description. So Saturday course, definitely need help there. We need help at the expo on Friday. We divide the shift into threes, and we still have a lot of openings with race number distribution at that 3:30 to 7 slot. So that would be a fun one. And then on Saturday, a job that we still have a lot of openings for is helping with food distribution up in the Great West Hall, and that would be during the early shift and the later shift. Let me just look here. I'm looking. Yes, we have the first shift with the food help starts at 7:30. The second shift help starts at 10:15, and those are called food teams, and it's under the category of start line, finish line, stadium work. So I would say those are the critical areas. Saturday, course. Friday, bib distribution in that 3:30 slot. Saturday, helping with food distribution. That is a super fun job. We use the concession stands up at Memorial Stadium. So everybody finishes on the stadium floor. They get their photo, get their water, get their medal, and then they complain about walking up the stairs to get to all the food. But there's tons of food, and we use those concession stands.
A lot of times charities, or if you're a member of something, volunteering, you can get some money back if you have a certain number of people of your group, right?
Well, you don't even need to have a certain number of people. For course positions, if you are affiliated with a nonprofit, yes, we pay $25 per volunteer from a nonprofit in our community, and we dole out thousands of dollars every year. So it's a really easy way to make money for your nonprofit is to volunteer for those course positions. I think working the parking positions also, we have that same deal, and those there I skipped over those, but there are also openings there to help with just holding the stick, waving cars into a parking lot.
Yeah.
Pretty easy money, $25 per person.
Well, listen, it's great this takes a year to really put together. It's amazing. By the way, the expo at the Arc, isn't it? At the Arc?
Yes, that starts on Thursday.
Yes, well, Gracie was having some calf and shin splint issues. She ran last year, and we found this booth with this cream that we put it on her leg for a week, and she had zero pain for the race.
Nice.
I don't know what the heck that was. Trying to find that again.
I can tell you. No, I'll tell you.
What is
it? It's called Real-Time Pain Relief, and they'll be back. They've been a vendor every year since we started.
Christian's having a little knee trouble. He's trying to run the marathon, so I'm going to rub some of that on his knee. See that?
Real-time pain relief.
Real-time pain, but it was really, really remarkable. There's all kinds of stuff out there. That worked for her. That was amazing. So the expo is really cool. If you want to see some interesting things and innovations, it's a really neat thing. So you've really done a good job. Once again, Ms. Seeley, you always have, you always will. So you hope people can connect with you and volunteer. So again, how do they do it?
First of all, I just want to say the expo is free to the public. Anybody can come. Yep. It's not just for people who are registered. IllinoisMarathon.com is your gateway to all the answers about the race. It's a link. It'll provide a link to volunteer. If you want to register still, you can find that link, maps, you name it. And we just, a few weeks ago, unfurled our brand new website, which looks pretty spiffy and modern. So IllinoisMarathon.com is your one-stop shop.
What does it cost to register for the marathon race?
Well, every race is a little different, and we're in our last tier. Having said that, anybody who wants to do our race and has any kind of financial, need, they just need to email me at director@IllinoisMarathon.com. We comp a lot of people into our race. Currently, the marathon is $170. That is the final price.
Well, I'm interested in registering Bobby and I in that not show up category. So
well, if they pay,
it's a great cause.
As long as you pay,
and I want to get to that 1,000.
Well, there you go. So you could give the money, and if they don't show, they don't show. I mean, hey,
no, that's right.
Yeah.
So that's another thing.
Yeah.
I think that'd be great.
And I love that you have a 27th mile party. You have the Busey, Illinois Youth Run, too, on April 26th at 3 there at Memorial Stadium. It's just such a great time, Jan.
Yeah, and we have a Street Fest actually on Friday night as well after the 5K. And then you mentioned the Meyer 27th mile event. And, the Youth Run, our team at Busey, they're just so amazing. Emma and Nancy and Jeremy and, of course, our team as well. We've added a new wave to the Youth Run called the Welcome Wave. And this is for families who have members of their family, and they can be of any age, who have any kind of disabilities. And this Welcome Wave will go first. So everybody will, we have all the families in the East Stands because we do the Youth Run in waves, and we'll bring the Welcome Wave families down first, and they'll have the same experience, but we'll get them through and out and have their food bags right there on the finish line area so they don't have to try to find a way to get up to the stadium. So we keep, people in the community, families that we work with that have youngsters in their family with disabilities, they help us make this event more accessible. So we're very excited about the addition of the Welcome Wave.
Well, again, one more time, the website is?
It's IllinoisMarathon.com for all of your answers and to volunteer, register, or just learn about the event.
We appreciate Christie Clinic, obviously, major sponsors of this. Listen, great community event, Jan Seeley. Thank you for all you're doing. We really appreciate it.
Well, thank you for your support, Diane. We know you're going to be part of the Savoy entertainment.
Playing the music.
Going to be awesome. Yeah, we've got you on. Got you on the list.
That's
so
right.
That's the Savoy piece.
That'll be
going to
the
be great.
300th event in the last 12 months Diane has volunteered for. She's pretty good. Hey, listen, thank you so much, Jan. Appreciate it, and I hope it's a wonderful weekend coming up.
Yeah, thanks so much, guys.
Yep,
Take
you
care.
bet. Jan Seeley, IllinoisMarathon.com.
Kind of starts after 4 at the Expo on the 24th, the 25th, and 26th. We've got race action.
Yep, Christie
I think
Clinic,
I will
Illinois
register.
Marathon.
I think
Come
it's
on,
a great
let's go.
cause, and I'm going to send it.
Fox News, I'm Therese Crowley.
It is not okay.
Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro on the firebombing at the governor's mansion after he and his family held a Passover Seder. State police say the suspect under arrest, a 38-year-old from Harrisburg, expressed a deep hatred for Shapiro, scaled the 7-foot fence and threw Heineken bottles filled with lawnmower gas, badly damaging the interior. Shapiro thanking Americans for the prayers, shining a light on his family. President Trump marking this Holy Week at the White House, also hosting El Salvador's president, and congratulating golfer Rory McIlroy, earning the green jacket at the Masters in Augusta, 12 under par.
I have to congratulate Rory. That showed tremendous courage. He was having a hard time, but it showed great guts and stamina and courage. People have no idea how tough that is.
America is listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Champaign police say officers dispatched to the 300 block of North Neal Street Sunday. 911 call says a large fight taking place inside a business. When police arrived, they say officers found no fighting and nothing at the scale indicated by the caller they're investigating. Urbana Police announcing one of its sergeants has been named the state ambassador for a countrywide organization. Department announcing Sergeant Matthew McKinney named the Illinois Ambassador of Law Enforcement's Community Engagement Network, which is a national organization dedicated to advancing trust building and relationship-focused policing. Blood donation numbers are on the decline. At Impact Life, officials say they're below their collection goals this week. That's why they're partnering with the Champaign-Urbana chapter of Knights of Columbus, hosting a blood drive. Anyone over the age of 18 with good health, you can donate. The event's going to be at Holy Cross Catholic Church May 4th in Champaign. Thanks to all who participate in the event. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Eastern Illinois. Champaign-Urbana vicinity. First half of the week, quiet, increasing shower chances as we approach the Easter holiday weekend and beyond. Matter of fact, a wet and active weather pattern ahead for next week. In the meantime, nothing more than a sprinkle coming along in spots this morning. Partly sunny, windy, 65. The west wind, 20 to 30 and gusty. Windy, cooler tonight, a few clouds and 42. Tomorrow, sunshine, windy and cooler at 55. The northwest wind continues on, 20 to 30 and gusty. Diminishing wind, clear skies, colder and some patchy patchy frost late tomorrow night, low down to 34. And a frosty start to Wednesday morning. Sunny, a bit milder in the afternoon, lighter wind at 62. Shower chances increase Thursday, breezy and milder at 65. On Good Friday, windy, warmer, 77 with a couple of showers and thunderstorms. Shower chances back in for Sunday and Saturday as well. Weekend highs, 65 on Saturday. Easter Sunday high at 66. Showers and thunderstorms on the increase late Sunday into Monday. Highs early next week in the 70s. For CVJ Broadcasting, I'm Beatlicious, Greg Solke.
Want unbeatable prices on your next furniture purchase, but also seeking that local hometown feel? Look no further than Kelsey Furniture in Tuscola. Customers rave about their friendly, established staff, as well as their great selection, amazing prices, and second-to-none delivery service. They're a third-generation local business, and they've always got your best interests at heart. Find the look you love for less. Open 9 to 5 Monday through Saturday, but always available online at kelseyfurniture.com. That's kelseyfurniture.com. Next week on an all-new Law and Order.
Order! We convene here for case 217, Spring Green versus Weeds. Spring Green, the floor is yours.
The weeds are infectious. The weeds steal the beauty from your lawn. We offer personalized lawn care, a mid-season checkup, and a simple and transparent process. Just click on to spring-green.com for a quote.
Okay, Spring Green wins. Weeds, you're out.
That's spring-green.com.
Drive in, drive out. Recycling's what Max is all about. You can make some cash and do your share. We make it really simple because we care. It doesn't matter large or small. Our friendly staff will handle it all. Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
Actually, I called the provider. It was just going to be a while before I could have service, and I couldn't wait, so I was recommended to Classic. Professionalism, their dependability, credibility, and the service technicians, I wouldn't ever call anybody else.
I truly believe that after people have experienced other companies and then given us a try, they can clearly see the difference.
Visit ClassicPlum.com.
Okay. All right. ESPN 93.5, final segment of the program. I'm Stevie J. This is Brother Johnny. Diane's here.
Good morning.
Bill Maher, liberal, talked about his visit and meal with Donald J. Trump. I have really tried to edit everything here.
Okay.
I'm not sure I got...
Fingers crossed.
There's no telling what'll come off. Try it again, Steve.
Okay, as you know, 12 days ago I had dinner with President Trump, a dinner that was set up by my friend Kid Rock, because we share a belief that there's got to be something better than hurling insults from 3,000 miles away. And let me first say that to all the people who treated this like it was some kind of summit meeting, you're ridiculous. Like I was going to sign a treaty or something. I have no power. I'm a comedian, and he's the most powerful leader in the world. I'm not the leader of anything, except maybe a contingent of centrist-minded people who think there's got to be a better way of running this country than hating each other every minute. So, thank you. So, meet up in person. Maybe it'll be different. Spoiler alert, it was. First good sign, before I left for the Capitol, I had my staff collect and print out this list of almost 60 different insulting epithets that the president has said about me. Things like stupid, dummy, lowlife dummy, sleazebag, sick, sad, stone cold crazy. Really a dumb guy, fired like a dog, his show is dead. There's 60. I brought this to the White House because I wanted him to sign it. Which he did. Which he did with good humor. And I know as I say that, millions of liberal sphincters just tightened. Oh my God, Bill, are you going to say something nice about him? What I'm going to do is report exactly what happened. You decide what you think about it. And if that's not enough pure Trump hate for you, I don't give a So, no, I didn't go MAGA. And to the president's credit, there was no pressure to. After we left the Oval Office, he showed me the little room off the office, you know, the one where Clinton used to.
Yeah, had to edit that.
It is. And he gave me a bunch of hats, but he didn't ask me to take a picture in one, which I appreciated. The guy I met is not the person who the night before the dinner shit-tweeted a bunch of nasty crap about how he thought this dinner was a bad idea and what a deranged hole I was. I read it and thought, oh, what a lovely way to welcome someone to your house. But when I got there, that guy wasn't living there. Now, does Trump want respect? Of course, who doesn't? My friend said to me, what are you going to wear to the White House? I said, I don't know, but I'm not going to dress like Zelensky, I'll tell you that. But, okay. Just for starters, he laughs. I'd never seen him laugh in public, but he does, including at himself. And it's not fake. Believe me, as a comedian of 40 years, I know a fake laugh when I hear it. And I thank you for them. No. Okay, example. In the Oval Office, he was showing me the portraits of presidents, and he pointed to Reagan and said, in all seriousness, you know the best thing about him? His hair. I said, well, there was also that whole bringing down communism thing, waiting for the button next to the Diet Coke button to get pushed and I go through the trap door. But no, he laughed, he got it. I said to him at one point, Mr. President, you know the dog, that's unusual in the White House. He said, well, a lot of the presidents, they had a dog for political reasons. I said, no, people love dogs, that's what that is. Oh yeah, okay, that's true. I'm telling you what happened. At one point, we were walking through his amazing tour of the whole house. And I don't remember exactly what we were talking about, but it must have been something with the 2020 election, because I know he used the word lost. And I distinctly remember saying, wow, I never thought I'd hear you say that. He didn't get mad. He's much more self-aware than he lets on in public. Look, I get it. It doesn't matter who he is at a private dinner with a comedian. It matters who he is on the world stage. I'm just taking as a positive that this person exists, because everything I've ever not liked about him was, I swear to God, absent, at least on this night with this guy.
Every time people meet Trump, it's the same thing. Oh man, unbelievable. He's just so gracious and so nice. And I've asked people who've been in meetings with him. He said he just sits and listens and hears it and all those other things.
And I guess we all see it from a different perspective, but I see a lot of that in his public persona. He is up there doing his oratory. He's playing to the crowd, but I don't see this evil guy. And then it's also reinforced 24/7.
Yeah, right.
So you can get that way. And then when you do meet him, it's like, wait a minute, this isn't what everybody was saying. Everybody thinks he's Hitler.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a shock when you get to do that. You know, I have a pretty good friend in John Kennedy, and he has a persona that's different than when you're with him. He's kind of a funny guy, and he's got a shtick being the I don't know what it is, but it's not what you'll be sitting
one-liners.
down. When you're with him, he's not quite that guy that you would think from what you see.
Right.
So
deliberate speaker though, still, isn't he?
Yes, and but not like
he is on TV.
No, he's very natural.
Nancy Pelosi, you got to quit taking Tide Pods.
When you're on stage, now you and Diane are pretty much what you see is what you get. Ditka was,
yeah.
But many are just trying to, put on what they feel comfortable in communicating to a group of people. It's not quite your everyday personality.
Yeah.
Well, it's Trump is quite a unique and if this stuff works, what he's trying, it will be a historic president. people aren't going to want to hear that, but that's true.
I think it by and large will work. I'm not sure he'll get 100, but he's trying a lot of things.
But what he's doing, there's some definite long-term deals with a midterm 18 months away, and will he have time to implement and get stuff?
Well, the question is, will the impact show positively by the midterms?
Right,
which
right.
is what now? 21 months from now. So
unbelievable.
And then if they don't, and the Democrats take the House, he'll have a lot harder time. We'll have nothing but impeachment hearings, and maybe not. But that's what they did last time.
I would think they'd do it again.
And so
nothing will get done.
Yeah, well, right.
All right. It's Brother Johnny, Diane. I'm Stevie J. Break and be right back. ESPN 93.5. Always welcome on the text line, the X line, the whatever we have line. It's 217-359-2255.
I'm peeling out, Steve. I'll see you tomorrow.
You're leaving?
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
And on X, we're at Stevie Jay FM.
At Pards in Urbana, the boots just keep on coming. They're known for their huge collection of men's cowboy boots, women's cowgirl boots, kids' boots, and even shoes. If you're searching for top footwear brands, look no further than Pards. They carry a wide variety, including Ariat, Dan Post, Smoky Mountain, Roper, Double H, and more. And if socks or accessories are what you need, they've got all your high-quality essentials. Since 1968, Pards has been serving their customers with high-quality merchandise. And if you haven't been to Pards in a while, a lot has changed. Go check them out just off University Avenue in Urbana.
Attention drivers. When it comes to your car, trust matters. That's why savvy drivers choose PDR Automotive for top-notch service and unbeatable quality. From routine maintenance to complex repairs, their team of expert technicians has the skill and experience to keep your vehicle running smoothly. At PDR Automotive, customer satisfaction is their priority, and they won't rest until your car is back on the road performing at its best. Visit PDR Automotive in Urbana today, family-owned and operated for more than 50 years. They're what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR.
Listen up, Gen Xers. Elizabeth Banks here. The recommended age for pneumococcal pneumonia vaccination has been lowered to 50 and older, even if you're healthy. It's up to us to lead the way. We've done this before. Music videos, fanny packs, even the World Wide Web. So let's do it again and get vaccinated. We're at over 6 times greater risk for pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults under 50. Gen X, this is our shot. Visit vaxassist.com to schedule. Sponsored by Pfizer.
When looking for a bank, you deserve the best. Philo Exchange Bank is a Best of Bauer bank rated 5 stars in financial strength and stability for over 28 consecutive years. Banking with us means you're banking with one of the strongest banks in the nation. Visit any one of our locations in Philo, St. Joseph, Allerton, or Broadlands to experience the best firsthand.
Philo Exchange Bank, hometown community banking since 1883. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
Hey, where are you headed?
To Kelsey Furniture in Tuscola.
What do they have there?
What don't they have there? Living room furniture, benches, chests, love seats, sectionals, tables, bedroom sets, hutches, nightstands, end tables, cabinets, mirrors, stools, clocks, lamps, pillows, rugs, desks, media consoles, patio furniture, Tempur-Pedic mattresses, and more.
So, everything.
Yeah, probably could have just said that.
Kelsey Furniture, quality for less. When you make the right decision, it feels good, like picking the perfect accent rug or choosing a good night's sleep over an all-night crime show binge. It feels really good to make the right insurance decision, too. That's why State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow is right here in Champaign-Urbana to help you select the right protection at the right price. Kurt will make sure you understand your State Farm coverages so you'll know what to expect if the unexpected happens. Just call him when you want the real deal. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Two Men and a Junk Truck is emptying their truck, and they have some great items. It's their first ever second chance garage sale. They rescue cool stuff from heading to the landfill, dusting it off, and offering it to you. Two Men and a Junk Truck believes in second chances. That's why they're holding their second chance garage sale. Come find furniture, household goodies, and unique treasures ready for their second act. Come out to the second chance garage sale at 701 West Bradley Avenue from 8 a.m. until noon on April 12th.
Well, tell me, Tim Onsett, lawn mowing season soon. Dixie Chopper, dedicated diesel. It's off Route 45 as you're heading toward Rantoul. You turn left on Triumph Drive, drive till you can't drive anymore, and you'll be right there. And you got some Dixie Choppers I could buy.
Oh, yeah. Andy's got his hands full with Dixie Choppers, and stop by, see Andy, get a great deal on a mower.
Fastest mower you can buy, so you don't have to spend 2 hours out there. You might spend 45 minutes, and plus, Andy can tune it up or fix it.
Sure he can. Yeah, we got a full shop ready to go. Whatever you need.
When it comes to early on here in the spring, it can be, weeds up to your mid-thigh or whatever. So sometimes you need a really tough kind of mower to get through all that in the brush.
Well, yeah, these are built solid. They'll get through that stuff, and all of the structural components have a great warranty. So if something does go wrong, we can definitely get it fixed. Get Andy at Dedicated Diesel, 217-328-0562, or Dedicated Equipment on Facebook.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Eastern Illinois. Champaign-Urbana vicinity. First half of the week, quiet, increasing shower chances as we approach the Easter holiday weekend and beyond. Matter of fact, a wet and active weather pattern ahead for next week. In the meantime, nothing more than a sprinkle coming along in spots this morning. Partly sunny, windy, 65. The west wind, 20 to 30 and gusty. Windy, cooler tonight, a few clouds and 42. Tomorrow, sunshine, windy and cooler at 55. The northwest wind continues on, 20 to 30 and gusty. Diminishing wind, clear skies, colder, and some patchy frost late tomorrow night, low down to 34. And a frosty start Wednesday morning, sunny, a bit milder in the afternoon, lighter wind at 62. Shower chances increase Thursday, breezy and milder at 65. On Good Friday, windy, warmer, 77 with a couple of showers and thunderstorms. Shower chances back in for Sunday and Saturday as well. Weekend highs, 65 on Saturday. Easter Sunday high at 66. Showers and thunderstorms on the increase late Sunday into Monday. Highs early next week in the 70s. For DVJ Broadcasting, I'm Beetlejuice, Greg Solke.
Well, I tell you what, though, A&R has been such an amazing, impactful company. Your grandfather, your dad, you've all gone through stuff. And your secret is what, John?
Well, you have to trust that you're doing the right thing, first of all. And you got to surround yourself with good people. And I think over the years, we've had some really good people that have been part of A&R. And, we owe a lot of our success, if not all of it, to those people.
Neil, you could say A&R has built a great part of Champaign-Urbana. It's about people. Can you explain the culture, why people would want to work at A&R?
We've had several families where we've gone even 3 generations. And these guys are long-term employees. They want to stay with us. And it's rewarding to know that they want to be with us. We have their backs. They have our backs. And that's a unique perspective, I think, from anybody this day and age.
I'm positive because you're such a solid company. A&R Mechanical, a thriving leader 100 years later.
Hi, this is Kevin Rogers, president of the Philo Exchange Bank. Our bank's been through the ups and downs of the local agricultural community since 1883. With over 147 years of combined lending experience, let our local ag lenders work with you and help your farming operations succeed. Philo Exchange Bank, hometown community banking since 1883, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Are you tired of shivering in the winter? Look no further than your local heroes at ABC Heating and Air Conditioning. Hi, this is Gina inviting you to give us a call at 217-352-5400 to book your appointment to make sure your furnaces run safely and efficiently this winter. We've been proudly locally owned and operated and have been serving our community for over 50 years. ABC, always be comfortable. Call me 217-352-5400 to book your appointment today or go to abcheatingandac.com.
Allow me to introduce you to a true friend of mine. And whenever I've had problems, he would listen and always stayed by my side and offered great advice, providing comfort, strength, forgiveness, and healing. His name? Jesus Christ. Come, you're invited to join us, Muhammad Christian Church, as we celebrate what a glorious day this Easter Sunday. And when you arrive, step right in. You will be greeted with smiles, hellos, and a friendly, glad you joined us today. Oh, and please visit our Welcome Center. We are Muhammad Christian Church, 908 North Lake of the Woods Road in Muhammad. Visit us for our Easter Sunday service at 10 a.m. Celebrate the resurrection of our Savior and allow our friend Jesus Christ to fill your heart with his love. Muhammad Christian Church, 908 North Lake of the Woods Road in Muhammad, our Easter Sunday service at 10 a.m.
From computer systems to brakes and tires too, at PDR, fixing cars is what they do. Remember, when you turn the key and the car won't run, call 367-9481 or use their dedicated text-only line at 383-0619. Additional information including repair quotes and online scheduling requests available from the website at pdrauto.com. Remember, they are what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR. Well, all right. Cardinals won 2 out of 3. I think Cubs won at least 2 out of 3. They blew out the Dodgers on Saturday, a record-breaking loss for L.A., the worst loss in Los Angeles in the history.
Right.
Never been shut out 16-0. That's the Cubs.
Right.
What?
I know.
So watch out. Cubs are in first place by 2 full games now. I know it's kind of early, but hey, good start. Good start. Kasparis Giacojonas, according to Scott Ritchie at the News Gazette, will declare for the NBA draft. No surprise.
That's what we anticipated.
Yep, for sure. We have not heard about Will Riley, however. Will come back.
Okay.
Never know. All right. Thank you, Diane.
Enjoy the day.
Thank you. That's Diane Ducey. And we've heard from Brother Johnny a lot today. Appreciate him coming by. I'm Stevie J. Meet you tomorrow on the radio. Have a great Monday. Sarah Champagne managing partner Ben Quattrone.
We're always looking for people. You can go online and apply on our website. We never know what we're going to need. We're always expanding. We're always building more and growing our business. If we don't need a person and they come along and we find out that they're an eagle, they're a star, we'll hire them. We'll put them somewhere and wait for the spot we're going to have them working.
Learn more at sarahchampagne.com.
2 men and a junk truck is emptying their truck, and they have some great items. It's their first ever second chance garage sale. They rescue cool stuff from heading to the landfill, dusting it off, and offering it to you. 2 men and a junk truck believes in second chances. That's why they're holding their second chance garage sale. Come find furniture, household goodies, and unique treasures ready for their second act. Come out to the second chance garage sale at 701 West Bradley Avenue from 8 a.m. until noon on April 12th.
Your number one sports bar and grill is Pia's. Head to 1609 West Springfield Avenue to watch all your favorite sports teams play on the big screen TVs as you enjoy great drink specials and the famous 10-ounce Slugger Burger. With the slot machines, darts, video, golf, and outdoor beer garden, meet your friends at Pia's. Since 1975, open mornings at 7 a.m., Sundays at 8. See you at Pia's.
Spring is here, and as the weather heats up, the sports action heats up at Circus Sports Illinois. From baseball to basketball to hockey, Circus Sports has it all. Circus Sports Illinois isn't just sports betting, it's sports betting the way it should be. High betting limits, tight money splits, and exceptional customer service. Whether you're looking for playoff futures or props on your favorite players and more, Circus Sports has you covered. Download the Circus Sports Illinois app or visit circusports.com today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hi, I'm Tyler Weaver, president of Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery. It's time to come home to Carpet Weavers. We don't want you to just like your new floors. We want you to love them. From waterproof floors and carpet to furnitures and design advice, we've got a team of experts on your side. We'll get you the best price and the best quality products. And complete your home with furniture and accessories. Buy it all with free financing too. Come home to Carpet Weavers, where floors, furniture, and family meet.
PDR Automotive has now been serving the Champaign-Urbana area for over 50 years. To give you some perspective, 50 years ago ended the U.S. involvement in the Vietnam War, and it was when Secretariat won the Triple Crown. So what does that mean for you and your vehicle? Whether you need a carburetor overhauled or your new vehicle computer system diagnosed or programmed, PDR Automotive has the experienced, knowledgeable staff that can handle all your automotive needs. Online at pdrauto.com, they are what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR.
My name is Jim Brookins. I own my lawn care service for over 15 years now. I have met a lot of great people doing this. Most of the people I meet, they become great friends. I do edging, weed eating. I blow everything off so it looks fantastic when I'm done. I believe, in my mind, I do the best. Usually my average range is usually around $40 per yard. You can call me 217-621-8807. 217-621-8807.
Got a plumbing, heating, cooling, electrical, or sewer problem? Look no further than Fred's Plumbing, Heating, Air Conditioning, and Electric. Locally owned and trusted, Fred's team of professionals is ready to tackle projects both big and small. Why waste time and money on complicated DIY fixes? Fred's experienced team will get the job done right, saving you time, stress, and cash. And when it comes to sewer problems, make sure you call Fred's for a second opinion you can trust. At Fred's, they do it all. No project too big, no project too small. They do insulation, repairs, replacement, and maintenance, and they now offer service agreements. For reliable service, professional expertise, and solutions that work, call Fred's Plumbing, Heating, Air Conditioning, and Electric today. 217-586-3863 or go to fredscu.com. You can always trust Fred's.
Sarah Champagne's Ben Quattrone on keeping his employees.
It's got to be the place to work. We have to pay the best. We have to treat people the best. Some of the guys wanted to order pizza the other day. Well, we bought 30 Papa Del's pizzas. BMW had the best month they've ever had. They said, can we have a cookout? Saturday, I cooked like 50 ribeye steaks.